What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to take a look at the absorbing fun, the absorbing man, the most boring tank in the game right now, I don't know, but we are going to take a look at some gameplay of this guy. We are going to take a look at him in action, and this is going to be outside of Cosmic Crucible. As you guys know, or at least as you guys should know, the Masters of Evil are going to be a very powerful team in Cosmic Crucible, but that's it, that's all they do. It's a one-trick pony. So we are going to use this team on Blitz and on Dark Dimension and see what they are able to do in other game modes, because this is something that you need to be happy with, because that's it. They are not going to literally provide anything else for you. This is going to be similar to X Factor, maybe X-Force, maybe it's more like X-Force. It's a team that had some use on that one specific game mode throughout the upcoming seasons, right? At least 1 or 2 seasons this team should be good, but beyond that, after, maybe it's not the case anymore. We'll have to wait and see. And they are also required for a legendary the same way the X-Force was required for Dr. Octopus, maybe, or something like that. So unfortunately, is a team that one way or another will have to invest anyway. So we're gonna take a look because based on what you're going to see, the decision about gearing them up more or less, you have to take into consideration. Should I bring all these characters to level 95 till gear and so on, or should I keep these guys at some reasonable level and only orange gear? We already know that in Cosmic Crucible they can punch up huge 300k, 400k against the meta teams, Unlimited, Wakanda and so on, so it's not something that is going to be important. You don't have to max out these characters in order for them to win, and that's why we are going to take a look at that approach. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share them with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so what am I going to do with my Masters of Evil? I'm going just to level them up to orange gear and maybe level 80, level 85, and that's it. I'm not going to push them way too far because it will be unnecessary. I just want them to win. I don't need them to crush the enemies. So that's going to be fine. And till gear, like we are at this point in time, we just finished our journey with Apocalypse. So we have to wait and see what's coming next, and if we are going to require all that till gear to get up different characters the same way we had to get up the Horseman characters. Okay, so taking a look at the absorbing man, let's talk about T4s, let's talk about ISO 8. Let's start with the ISO 8. In terms of the ISO 8, in my opinion, you have 2 options, maybe 3. In my opinion, if you are using this guy on Cosmic Crucible defense together with Titania, then you want to have this guy as a skirmisher, and this is for room 3. The other rooms, they don't matter, but if you are using this team on room 3, which is going to be a very powerful situation, then you want this guy as a skirmisher and you want Titania as a fortifier. If you are using this character on offense, maybe Striker is going to be the best option, because you have vulnerabilities coming from the Titania, because she's going to be skirmisher and she'll have counters all the time. On top of that, you also have Kang the Conqueror and you have Ultron as raiders. And Striker for absorbing man, it's going to be convenient because that will allow him to give to get more deflects, and for each deflect he has, he's going to heal himself for 5%. So not only are you doing additional damage, but you are also going to increase the sustainability of this character. Maybe in the future you might have this character as a fortifier for the barrier and for the drain, but it's very unlikely. Just focus on the Striker on offense, and once again, if you are using this team on defense, room 3, Titania fortifier, and you can use this guy as a skirmisher because she's going to give counters to the adjacent characters, and he's going to be taunting, so that means he's going to be applying vulnerability to your enemies. Okay, so that's the 2 options that make sense. Those are the only 2 logical options. Now, in terms of the T4s, all the T4s are decent, I guess. This one gives 44, this one gives 4 counters to Titania on spawn, on Cosmic Crucible offense, and you get additional 30% resistance. In my opinion, this T4 is skippable, because Titania, she's going to get the counters anyway. Every time the enemies have a turn, she's gonna get the counters anyway, so it's irrelevant, and she only gets speed up for 1 buff. So if she gets 4 buffs at the same time, she only gets buffs 1 time anyway, so it doesn't matter. Then in terms of the ultimate, in Cosmic Crucible, apply deflect and immunity to self and all Masters of Evil. So you can imagine this is something that you can use on turn 1, so this is going to be a decent T4, just to make sure that your team has that extra survivability. But I'm only going to activate these T4s whenever the full team is available, because before that you might not get huge value out of it. And then we have this special ability. Instead of copying 2 negative effects from the Masters of Evil, you are going to copy all negative effects from the Masters of Evil to these characters. And this is going to depend, like, it depends on the team which one you are facing, because if you use the ultimate first, then you don't want to use this ability because you have immunity. And it can be the opposite. Maybe you know that the enemies, they are going to throw a bunch of negative effects at you, so you use this one instead, so you collect those negative effects and you use them to buff your character. Maybe copy some bleeds and flip them into regeneration. So that's going to be another very convenient T4, but you need to know exactly what you are doing in order to use this T4 properly. And finally we have the basic. And the basic, when you do the basic, if the primary target has vulnerability, instead of 1 deflect, you get 2 deflects. But notice right there, it's deflect plus 2. Deflect plus 2. That means that if you have the Striker Eyes Await and use this ability, you are going to get 4 deflects, not just 2. And that's very important. Some people don't pay attention to that plus. That plus is extremely important. So those are the T4s that I recommend, depending on if you have the full team or not. I think all the T4s except the passive are important. The passive, maybe we need to test it live and see exactly how it works, but based on what we know, it doesn't seem like it's going to be important T4. The other ones are definitely much more important. That's it. So that's the Absorbing Man. And now let's take a look at some gameplay. We're going to start off by doing Dark Dimension 3. Dark Dimension 3 is one of the best places where you can test a team, because you get so much burst damage in the face. Okay, so let's take a look at this team in action, and we are going to use Deadpool together with the Masters of Evil, because this team kinda sucks. Like I have mentioned this before, this team kinda sucks, and at least with Deadpool you are able to get some drain on Absorbing Man, and Deadpool also with a special can heal up Misty characters. So maybe in the future we are going to replace Ultron with Deadpool. We'll have to wait and see, because yeah, depending on which characters you are using, this team might be a little bit more valuable, but I'm not exactly sure. Like, this team is just so junky. You're gonna see from the gameplay. Okay, so here we go. We have Absorbing Man with defense up and deflects on spawn, which is great. Now he also has speed up, and now he got crushed. He got really crushed. So because we have Deadpool, we can use the special, and we are going to attack multiple characters, and because of that we are going to be able to use Drain. Without Deadpool, he's dead. He's pretty much dead. You can see, he's pretty much dead. Even with the defense up, even with the deflects, he got slapped out of existence. So I'm going to use the special of him so we can heal up a little bit with the drain. Okay, so there you go. He's back to the green and he's back to the floor once again. Okay, so now I'm going to spread that offense down with Deadpool, and I'm going to heal up Absorbing Man, because if you don't do this, he's already dead, and we are trying to showcase the gameplay of Absorbing Man. Okay, that's it. So now we are going to use the basic with Titania. Now we are going to give deflects and counters with Nobu, and it's really unfortunate that Absorbing Man is not able to heal himself outside of Crucible without with those deflects, because if that would be the case, then there would be a possibility of this team actually being pretty decent, but unfortunately it's not the case. Okay, so I want to attack some character with vulnerability because I want to get more deflects. It's a good thing because the Striker ISO 8 allows you to stack up your deflects up to 5, and once again that would be extremely convenient if you were doing this in if you would be able to do this outside of Cosmic Crucible. Okay, so I don't have offense sub, so I'm gonna steal that with Ultron. And now let's apply some vulnerabilities here with Deadpool. We kill those 2 minions. And now you're gonna get ready to do the ultimate with Ultron. It's gonna be important, we need to extend those positive effects, otherwise we might not be able to win. Let's just tap a little bit here and see if Ultron is able to destroy. Okay, let's see. Big damage there. He has Radar ISO 8, but the crits are still not showing up. We need Kang the Conqueror for Ultron to be able to do big damage with the Radar ISO 8. 40% chance of crit right now is just not good enough. Okay, so with Titania, let's apply ability block to Strife. Let's apply some more vulnerabilities. And you can see like Absorbing Man is just full of buffs, but he's not doing anything with them. He just doesn't have the speed or the damage to be able to do anything significant. He's just so disappointing. This guy is just so disappointing. Okay, let's slap with Nobu. Now the special of Titania, outside of Cosmic Crucible, it doesn't do anything special. The damage is very, very mediocre. The attack is unavoidable, but what's the point? Like, to copy and clear positive effects from the enemies? I mean, that's okay, but how many situations are we going to be able to use this ability? And especially when so many characters are able to remove positive effects from the enemies, like Kang the Conqueror Ultimate. It's like the kids are so contradicting. They contradict each other so much. Okay, so I'm gonna attack that shield security, even that it doesn't really matter, because we have way too many deflects, so we don't need to use the ISO 8. Of course, if you have like big boy ISO 8, you'd be able to heal the character by doing the health damage, but that's only with ISO 8 level 5. Until you have ISO 8 level 5, it doesn't really matter. So let's apply vulnerability here, and now let's extend those positive effects once again. And that's great. Like, look at those buffs that all these characters have. It's literally insane. But you can see that Nobu is doing a lot more than the other characters. It's just not enough. Nobu is giving counters to Ultron, Nobu is giving counters to Absorbing Man, and those counters, they are doing stuff. Without those counters, we would not be doing as well as you are seeing right now on the screen. Okay, so once again, you're gonna slap with that special of Absorbing Man. So let's take a look at the animations. Unfortunately, there is like no special animation, not like a Bashenga or something like that. The animations are still cool, but it's not like Bashenga. You don't have like specific graphics happening. Okay, so you can see the ISO 8 animation. He throws that rock, and now let's steal those positive effects from Strife. With Ultron, we are going to extend the positive effects once again. 300,000 crit, not the worst. Let's attack some a little bit Strife. Now we have the ultimate with Titania. You can see Titania is literally a beast, but yeah, you need to have the right support for her to be able to do this. Once again, if you would not have Deadpool, if you would not have Nobu, our team would be dead already. Our team would be dead already, and that's the problem. It's like you need to have a very, very specific team in order to give value to these guys. Okay, so let's blow up that Killmonger. He's a very dangerous character, we are gonna avoid that. And I just want to wait a little bit to see the animations of Absorbing Man. Let's see if Magneto is gonna be able to blind him. That is also something interesting. Let's see if his resistance is so high that he's able to resist it. Okay, so here we go, we have the blind. He resisted, let's go, awesome. Okay, so another situation that we have right now with Absorbing Man is that if with this passive, he can get up to 3 defense up, but as you can see, with Ultron, you can extend that defense up from 3 to 5. Thus, Absorbing Man gets more armor and more resistance based on those additional defense ups. I have no idea. You have to check out the data mines to see if it works or not, but it's an interesting question. Okay, so here we go. Absorbing Man with his ultimate. He's going to touch the diamond and he's going to absorb his properties. And he's going to do literally not much, like single target damage. It's not even piercing, so it's not very impressive. And now with the Striker Isolate, he's gonna slap and that's pretty much it. So as you can see, if you have the right setup of characters, Absorbing Man and Titania and Ultron, they can be somewhat decent. But once again, if you are gonna have the full team, you are not gonna have the level of sustain that we have right now thanks to Deadpool. Absorbing Man, he would be dead by a long time. He would have died a long time ago, and that's pretty much it. Okay, let's get more counters. You can see he's always on the yellow. He's always so close of dying. He's just so scary. Okay, more defense ups. And you have to remember, the more defense ups we have on Absorbing Man, the more survivability he's going to have. So that's it. In this specific situation, he is very good. Now let's take a look at this character in action without Deadpool. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at this team in action now without Deadpool. And I put Strange Supreme for no particular reason. It's just a character that was there, ready to go. And let's see now how fast Absorbing Man is going to absorb damage and literally die. He's going to literally die. Okay, so he starts with the taunt. You can see that he's already on the yellow, just like before. And once again, we are going to attack somewhere here in the middle to get as many drain. What am I talking about? There is no Deadpool. There is literally no drain. So let's see, offense up to a character. Okay, yeah, I guess we have to apply offense up to someone. Let's apply offense up here and see what's up. Okay, so he has the taunt again and he has the evades. And it's pretty much game over at this point. He has the taunt with those defense ups. He's gonna get slapped and then he's going to die. Okay, so let's use the basic. We are stuck behind that taunt and he's dead. It's pretty much over. So I'm gonna try to summon the minions. Let's see if the minions are going to... yeah, he's gone. He's gone. So yeah, that's it. So you guys can see, like, without the Deadpool, he just literally dies. So you could bring other healer like Mary Heal because he has all those deflects and so on, but is that the Masters of Evil? No, that's not the Masters of Evil. That's a hybrid team with Absorbing Man. What we can extrapolate from this situation is that Absorbing Man can be a good character if you have him together with the right team. And the right team is not the Masters of Evil. The Masters of Evil are great for Cosmic Crucible, but outside of Cosmic Crucible, that's it. You are better off using Absorbing Man as an independent character, maybe together with some other team, I don't know, like Eternals or Secret Avengers or Darkhold or anything where you need on-spawn tank and where you can also have some additional healing source like Mary Heal or something like that to increase the value of your characters. Okay, so let's do a few Blitz matches. Let's see what happens. Let's face the Astonishing X-Men on Blitz at 8.3, but you have to be careful because if they kill someone, we're gonna have problems, so we have to be careful with that. We have Green Goblin there. He's a little bit low level, but this is Blitz, right? This is Blitz, so we can't expect much, but we are gonna do our best, and we're gonna play on manual, of course. On auto, you instantly lose. There is no doubts on that. Okay, so Absorbing Man with the taunt, with the defense up, with the deflex, he's still alive. Let's ability block that Bishop and apply Disrupt to him because he's going to do his ultimate and he's going to slap my character very, very hard. He already flipped the defense up into defense down. That's very, very scary. Let's apply those deflects and let's see if you are lucky. If you are lucky and if you can keep those minions alive. In Cosmic Crucible, these minions are going to spawn with... these minions are going to spawn with let's do this, the special, to remove those negative effects. The minions are going to spawn with death proof, but outside of Cosmic Crucible, the minions are not going to spawn with death proof, and that's very, very dangerous. That means your minions at any point can just die, and yeah, and you're gonna get wrecked. Okay, so let's heal up. You can see that the green bot from Ultron heals by a very, very marginal amount, and there is literally nothing you can do. So we got lucky because on this Blitz match, the girl, the Jubilee, was very, very low level, because if she was like higher level, I would get slapped and get destroyed. So we are gonna win this one, but this was like, it was a scam. This one was a scam. If it was a big Jubilee, I would be destroyed already. You can see that they are just slapping my minions, and it's hard to keep them alive. Even with the defense ups and so on, it's hard to keep them alive. Okay, so let's see the big damage from Bishop now. This is the real, you can see, yeah, the green bot got destroyed, and yeah, we would have lost if it were not lucky for that specific situation. Okay, so now we can use the basic to get some additional deflects, and Bishop is gonna slap me. This is why it was important for the passive, for Absorbing Man to work outside of Cosmic Crucible, because like this, it's literally trash. Okay, so we were able to win one match. Let's see if we are going to be able to win the next one as well. You can see, like, he's destroying my minions, no problem. If Jubilee was alive, they would get insane levels of turn meter, and I would not be here anymore. Okay, let's apply ability block with Titania, and now let's apply the counters once again. More deflects for Absorbing Man. The ultimate also only heals in Cosmic Crucible. Like, this is all trash across the board. At least make the ultimate to heal outside of Cosmic Crucible. This is just such a garbage character outside of Cosmic Crucible. It's very, 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 very disappointing. Okay, so that was the first match. Let's do another one. Let's see if you can find some match that is like interesting. Darkhold. Let's face these Hero Asgardians with a very small Thor. So very small Thor. This is not a fair match. Usually the Thor is the biggest character on Hero Asgardians, but still we are facing a Hela. Let's see if we are going to be able to survive that Hela, or if we are going to get slapped out of existence. Okay, so here we go. We have some positive effects. We already lost the taunt, and we already got slapped. Big slap there. Let's stop the taunt on Sif, and let's see. Like, Absorbing Man is just so slow that he goes even after Sif. It's very, very disappointing. Okay, so Green Goblin died, but he got revived. That doesn't matter in this specific match. Now Thor uses his special. There you go. That's pretty nice. And now Absorbing Man, we can remove those regens and deflects from Sif, and we also going to get some additional deflects to keep this guy alive. Okay, so more defense ups, more deflects. That's nice. So let's slap this Thor once again. If it was a normal match, Thor would be the biggest character here, but unfortunately it's not the case. Can Ultron finish up that Sif? She's gonna deflect. No, she's not able to deflect anymore because of the rework on Ultron. So big damage there from Titania. You guys can see that even that Titania has single target damage, she does huge damage to the enemies, and that's the best part about it. It's just that single target damage, it just takes so long to deliver. It just takes so long to deliver. Is very, very dreadful. And we are doing this on manual. Would it be the same case if we were playing on auto? We're going to find out after this match. So now we can use this one or this one. This one gives defense up for one additional turn. Doesn't really matter, but they are not going to get buffs anyway. And now we can remove that stun. We're going to remove the stun from Ultron, and we're going to flip it. Let's see, is it going to flip in what? Okay, it worked. Ah, nice. But it didn't flip into anything. I guess maybe into... I'm not sure what the stun flips into. I thought it was it would flip into evade, but I guess not. I guess that's going to be the disrupt maybe. No, disrupt is immunity, so yeah, I exactly don't know. Okay, let's finish up with this Ella, and we are done with this match, and after we are ready to use this team on auto and see what they are able to do. Let's see if they are able to beat any team. So unfortunately you cannot copy the evades. It would be nice, since he has like no healing, it would be nice to copy those evades. Unfortunately, it's not the case. The basic is not unavailable, and now with Ultron we are just going to use his basic and finish it off with the Titania ultimate. Here we go. We have Snooki, the 7-feet Snooki. It's not a 12-foot skeleton, it's a 7-feet Snooki, which is much better than a 12-foot skeleton. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, with the right team, the Masters of Evil can be somewhat decent, but it's not very impressive. Okay, so we have Defenders and we have Wakanda. I want to face Wakanda because this is going to be the team that we are going to face in Cosmic Crucible. But once again, in Cosmic Crucible, your bots, the bots from Ultron, are going to have death proof, and that means that Black Panther is not going to be able to finish them off. In this case, everyone knows what's going to happen, right? They start with speed up, and now we don't have Kang the Conqueror, so that's going to be even worse. Taunt was removed already, so Absorbing Man didn't have enough resistance in order to protect himself from Okoye. But of course there is the difference in stats. At least he took the damage from Black Panther like a champion. Oh, I'm supposed to play this on auto. Okay, let's press auto and let's see what happens. Okay, so he's going to use the ultimate first. The ultimate is going to remove positive effects from that guy. And now we have the Ultron minions, Disrupt, Ability Block, and Heal Block on Black Panther. And now we have the big damage from Ultron, but it's not enough. And now I'm back with a Taunt. That Taunt is going to be very, very problematic. At least for the moment, we are still protected by the ability block from Black Panther. Let's see if we are going to be able to finish him off. I'm running out of battery, that's another problem too. Okay, let's see, can we remove that taunt? Let's see, we have the defense up now and counters with M'Baku. This is going to bring a lot of problems to our team. Once again, I mentioned this before, and it's the case. Unfortunately, Ultron right now, he has such a trash amount of focus that having him as a striker might not be the best option, like it was in the past. Okay, so Black Panther, he's about to go down, and you know what that means. That means, like, if I have any kind of bots alive, that they are all going to get wrecked. Okay, so nice. The Killmonger, the fact that he killed the bots might have helped me a little bit. We finish off with M'Baku. Is it time for us to catch up? Let's see. Black Panther got 1 kill. Black Panther gets 2 kills. Oof, we got all those counters. We have some bleeds. Is that going to be enough to catch up? He keep attacking Titania, but like I said, like Titania, she's a beast. She is a bigger beast than Absorbing Man. Okay, so you can see that Absorbing Man, he doesn't have any kind of healing to keep him alive. He's almost dying. Hey man, it's just so unnecessary. If he had like just a little bit of healing on the flex, it would be great. So Black Panther now getting destroyed. And now, wow, we were able to finish off that Black Panther. So maybe we'll have a chance of winning. This is going to be a big turnaround. But once again, remember that we are using Nobu, which makes a huge difference because he's giving all those additional deflects and additional counters that we would not have otherwise. You guys can check out my videos from like a month ago. I told you right away that Nobu would be one of the best characters to have together with the Masters of Evil. It just provides so much value with those additional buffs. It's definitely noticeable. And wow, there we go. We were able to beat that Wakanda. That was very, very surprising. But once again, big shout out to Nobu because he was the one that pushed this team further beyond, because otherwise they would pretty much be destroyed by Wakanda. Okay, so as you guys can see, the Masters of Evil, at least the ones we have available right now, Ultron, Absorbing Man, and Titania, they are somewhat decent. They are somewhat decent outside of Cosmic Crucible if you have the right characters to support them. If you have Deadpool to give some drain, if you have Nobu to give the flex and counters and so on, their damage output can be significant enough to be relevant. But as we saw, as soon as we remove a Nobu, as soon as we remove a Deadpool, this team instantly fall apart, and unfortunately Kang the Conqueror and Moonstone, at least Kang the Conqueror, is not able to provide enough value, in order for this team to be viable outside of Cosmic Crucible. So this is gonna be probably a C-tier team in Alliance Wars. Maybe they are gonna be somewhat decent on defense. I don't think so. I think you have to use them on offense because of the minions, unless you want to bait your enemies to use the Wakanda against them. Unless if it's in that situation where you can bait your enemies to do that. Is that going to be the most convenient option to use this team? If that's the case, I mean, that's going to be a little bit disappointing. Like, I would expect a little bit more value out of this team, since they are supposed to be a very good team for Cosmic Crucible. But if the value doesn't shows up in other game modes, then it's disappointing. But to finalize, the conclusion is that in specific situations like Cosmic Crucible, in Cosmic Crucible they are great, yes, that we know for sure. In specific situations on Alliance Wars offense, and also on Avengers Tower, and maybe for Dark Dimension with Ultron, with the Absorbing Man, and maybe with some additional healer, Spider-Weaver for example, maybe this team is going to have some additional value, but it's not going to be like game-breaking like Nemesis of the Dead Seed. It's not going to be like Spider-Man 2099. It's not going to be like Spider-Weaver. It's just a team that barely works if you have the right characters together with them. So yeah guys, that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. What do you think about these Masters of Evil so far? Are you impressed? Are you disappointed? Were you expecting more out of them? Are you happy with their performance when you put them together with Deadpool or with Nobu or with other characters that help them out on specific situations? Would you consider some of these characters for Dark Dimension 5 or even Dark Dimension 6, right? Because Dark Dimension 6 supposedly it's around the corner. Let me know all of that in the comments below. And that's all for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. And if you found the video helpful, entertaining, anything like that, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I'll catch you guys later.